he almost got crushed by the water wheel. Good job. And now you broke it.
I don't really want to get wet that badly. Maybe there's a way of draining the reservoir.
Oh no. Is that Milena? Or, oh, it's Adeline.
Another ring. Weird. This one looks like it was made just recently.
How the hell can you tell that?
The door is locked.
Three liters. 4 liters. Okay. So it fills to 5 liters, we have 3 liters, we need to get 4 liters. I love how we can't just turn off the water. I mean, really? Jesus. Wasting fucking water. Alright, there you go. That's what you wanted, right? Or does it have to be 3.5 liters? Ah, fuck, I don't know. Okay, there's supposed to be a button. Or did that light just come on? No, that light's always been on. Oh, that button.
The door is locked. What a horrible murder.
Ooh, horrible monk, you have a curse.
What a horrible murder. What a horrible murder.
Oh, shut up. Why didn't the police follow him? Look up the directions and then I'll turn this back on. Oh, damn. Excuse me. That's pretty gross. Alrighty. That was a big rat. Oh, good.
What the hell?
Wake up. Wake up, Alice. Look, I'm glad you followed the breadcrumbs, Mr. MacPherson. I wanted you to witness my latest masterpiece. Wake up, dear. I wouldn't want you to miss the pain.
This painting is called Death Do Us Part. The woman in this painting appears to utterly disregard the suffering of the man kneeling on the ground beside her. Again, we see the recurrence of a dark tunnel, with an ominous figure lurking in the shadows. It seems as though Ackerman is attempting to recreate a moment in his childhood, with undertones of rape and suffering. Note the position of the man in this painting. He is vulnerable, weak, and exposed. Is this how Ackerman himself felt at the time? Cleansing of a soul. For the first time in Ackerman's work, a woman is depicted in a seductive manner. She floats on the canvas, her red cloak rippling in the wind, in contrast to the dead calm of the background. Red, representing passion and seduction, dominates the foreground, but is surrounded by ominous tones of dark purples, grays, and blacks, the colors of death. The woman's eyes are missing, perhaps representing increasing confusion and anger towards the women in his life. Bridge over troubled water. The woman in the foreground seems troubled and stares directly at us, seemingly unaware of the turmoil surrounding her. The vast and tumultuous sky, usually representative of freedom and openness, instead feels oppressive and looms eerily over the landscape. Is this Mark trying to get back at his mother? This painting is called Streets of Prague. Ackerman only lived in Prague for a few years. We can see the recurrence of a dark alleyway. Look at the colors in this painting. It's almost as if the walls are bruised and battered. Clearly Ackerman had a very negative view of the city. A sinner's pardon. The woman depicted here is clearly in a vulnerable and submissive position. She clutches herself as she struggles to achieve forgiveness. Perhaps one might see this as Ackerman's vision of how his mother should have asked for forgiveness for failing to protect him. The first one is called Abandoned. To the right, you can see a woman lying down, drunk, seemingly unaware of her surroundings. In the center of the picture are two eyes, eerily cutting through the darkness. We know that Mark Ackerman was abused by his father, and felt that his mother, who knew what was happening, stayed passive and let the abuse continue. This is mirrored in the painting, where the woman depicted seems unwilling to react to the approaching danger. This one is called The Pupil. The title suggests that Mark connected with the subject of this painting. Although trapped in his own prison, Ackerman was able to find escape through his pupil, represented by the light reflecting through the window onto the subject. he is using this man to escape from his own prison. The title is Mindless. This man is literally mindless. Note the stitches on his forehead where he was presumably lobotomized. This represents Mark's worst nightmare, being trapped in a prison of both body and mind. Although standing in a corner surrounded by darkness, an open window sheds light onto the scene. In a cruel irony, however, the subject is unaware of this window to freedom and remains a prisoner. Ah, Beatrice. The woman depicted here, a nurse, seems to represent Mark's ideal woman, and perhaps she was. Attentive, loving, and seductive, she is surrounded by angelic hues of white. Her skin tone is rich and alive, in contrast to his earlier works. This one is called Dr. Hyde, and is the first in his L.A. series. We know that Ackerman was committed to a mental hospital in the 30s. The man in this painting represents Mark's psychiatrist. It is a caricature of a dishonest man, whose gaze is masked behind thick glasses. The painting has an air of condescension. Look at his smile. He looks like the village idiot. It is obvious that Mark had no respect or admiration for this man. This painting is called Moonshine Traffic, his second painting in Chicago. One senses that Mark is comfortable here. The sun is rising, pushing out the darkness. Notice the warm oranges, yellows, and reds. Perhaps Mark is finally at peace and feels at home in Chicago. This one here is called Disturbed Sanctuary, and is the first in his Chicago series. One of the unusual aspects of this painting is the perspective from which it is created. One feels as though Ackerman is an unwanted guest in the room, almost hiding behind the curtain. The woman shown in this painting appears blissfully unaware of him or the darkness that surrounds her sanctuary of light.
Gee. Those words were on the walls in the first murder scene. Well, the fifth murder scene. And, what's-his-face's report here, Kolar's thesis, said that there was also a Chicago Ripper, as opposed, or along with the Prague Ripper. And we know who that one was, so it's obviously we know who the Chicago one is, too. Alright.
Mia, do you feel up for a few questions?
Sure.
Can you tell me, is this you in the picture?
Yes, it is.
Where and when was it taken?
I don't remember anyone taking a picture of me at that party. It was a rave in an abandoned warehouse somewhere. It was a few weeks ago.
Who were you with?
I was with...
Sorry, Mia. Stephanie was with you.
Yes.
How did you meet Stephanie?
I met her at work.
So you, Cynthia, and Stephanie worked at the club?
Yes.
Who's the fourth girl?
I don't know her real name. She was known as Queen of Secrets. The rule was never to give our real names to the clients or to the staff. But me, Steph, and Cynthia didn't respect the rule. We often partied. We got pretty close. But she respected the rule and never mixed with us.
You were Lady Temptation.
Yes, and Steph was Baroness of Blood, and Cynthia Mistress of Pain.
What went on at the club?
Well, Queen of Secrets would host the clients in the room with 4 statues. The clients would change their clothes.
Change their clothes?
Yes, they would put on Victorian-style cloaks with top hats, and they would wear masks.
Masks?
Yes, it was a rule never to know their true identity. These men were probably rich and powerful. It was to prevent us girls from blackmailing the clients. Plus, it heightened their experience with all the role-playing possibilities. It put them at ease to know that we didn't know them. The money was absolutely insane.
Thanks, Mia. I want you to stay with Richard for a while, because I might have more questions for you. Is that all right with you?
It's no problem.
That just sounds extremely dangerous.
I'll call you later. I still need to talk to you.
Okay.
Really, Richard didn't put it together that the title of his painting is the same words that were, on the crime scene in his building? His pupil. I wonder if this is the person killing them now. Ah, Jesus.
Do you have any more information about Mark Ackerman?
All I have is a book that the Department of Fine Arts printed.
May I have a copy?
Sure, honey. It's on the presentation stand in the center of the exhibition. Why the sudden interest?
It has something to do with my case.
What? In what way?
The killer left 2 messages at 2 of the crime scenes. Disturbed sanctuary and a sinner's pardon were written on the walls. I didn't know what they meant until now.
You mean the killer knows about Mark Ackerman?
Yes.
That seems unlikely. Ackerman's pretty much unknown. This is the first time he's going to be exposed to the public.
That's why you have to give me a list of all the people who sold you the paintings and a list of the people from the Fine Arts Department who are involved in this project. Can you do that for me?
Sure, but it'll take time.
Thanks. See you later.
Okay, I'll go work on that list.
That's a really nice fountain. Okay. Am I supposed to do something with this? It's apparently in my documents now. Good. Yemen. Veiled women. Streets of Prague. People. Empty shell. Moonshine traffic. Mob bus. Mindless. La Promenade. Or however the hell they pronounce it. Peace of mind. Dr. Hyde. Abandoned. Death do us part. Cleansing of the soul. Bridge over troubled water. Beatrice. I'm guessing the Beatrice from Divine Comedy. Disturbed Sanctuary. Oh, that's it. Alrighty. It's really nice artwork. I mean, like, whoever actually did those for this game is really good. Now where the hell do I go? I don't know. The office? Oh, can take the fire extinguisher down. Okay. I didn't know fire extinguishers were orange. Must have something else inside it other than foam. Maybe water or gas. Or whatever else is in the fire extinguisher that isn't foam.
Claire? What are you doing here?
Why do I have the feeling I just caught you with your hand in the cookie jar? I just came up here to get some blank report sheets. I'm all out downstairs, and there you are.
Claire, what's your level of clearance?
Level 2. Oh, no. Please don't tell me you were trying to find files using my name.
Oh, I found them. I just can't access them. It's level 4 clearance only. Oh, I'd love to read them.
Don't tell me you have a lead.
Actually, I might have one, yes, but I won't go into details just yet. I've been taught to never give any details before you have all the facts.
Oh, really? Who's the idiot that taught you that?
You did at Quantico. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Anyways, I really need to get my hands on those files.
Clearance 4, huh? I know one person who has that level of clearance, Todd. We never had this conversation, and I certainly never said that you could try the computer in his office instead of trying to get me in trouble. Victoria?
Uh-oh. You never call me Victoria unless it's serious.
You usually cut corners, I know, but why do something that might actually cost you your job?
Because I feel responsible for Stephanie's death.
Okay, now how is that possible?
When I chased our murderer on the rooftop, I had a chance to take him out and I didn't.
Why? Did you freeze? I know that happens sometimes, even to the best.
I'm sorry, but that sounded like a male impotent speech.
Victoria, I'm being serious.
I froze, sort of. I was hanging over the ledge.
Victoria, I can't believe we're having this conversation. That's not a shot, and you know it. How is your falling to your death any good for the case?
Thanks for the tip. Oh, and we never had this conversation.
We better not have had this conversation. Never mind. Well, good luck, sweetie. And when you get the final facts, make sure you think of me and share.
Of course I will. Thanks for being you.
Man, I want one of those keyboards. I can work with my laptop, but still. Oop, I'll take that.
I need those keys. I have to find a way to distract him.
He's mopping, isn't that enough?
Hey, do you think I could borrow those keys?
Over my dead body, senorita.
Dry powder. Hmm.